Hi families, I'm Mrs. Alford and I will be your teacher this year for second grade. I'm going to share my screen with you to introduce you to our online MyLearning platform, and I'm also going to let you know a little bit about myself. So let me share my screen here. All of our second grade team is departmentalized, meaning that each set of students will have two teachers. I will be teaching ELA and my partner teacher will be teaching the rest of the day, and I'll introduce you to him in just a moment. This is my 13th year teaching elementary school and my 7th year here at Cypress Elementary. Your second teacher for STEM will be Mr. Foreman. STEM is math and science. So you will have half of the day with me and half of the day with him. You'll meet him on Monday on the first day of school, and he's very excited to meet you all as well. So I wanted to tell you a few of my favorite things so that you can get to know me personally. And next week in our first week of school, I hope to learn all of your favorite things so I can get to know you guys a little bit better as well. So the first two of my favorite things are my dogs, Zoe and Bonzo. I have a teeny tiny little 6-pound dog named Zoe and a really, really big dog who weighs 90 pounds named Bonzo. You might see or hear them in the background of our Zoom lessons sometimes, but hopefully not very often. Another of my favorite things is reading. I love to read and I'm a big reader and I read lots and lots of different kinds of books. And one of the kinds of books that's my favorite is the Harry Potter series. My favorite color is teal. Anything in the teal, turquoise, mint green family are my absolute favorites. My favorite animals are tortoises and turtles. So you'll see a little tortoise there on the screen. I even used to have 2 Russian box tortoises as pets. My favorite food is tacos. I love any and all type of tacos. My favorite thing to do this summer was binge watch things on Netflix. I'm pretty sure my new husband and I have seen every movie and television show on Netflix by now. My favorite drink is coffee. I love to wake up in the morning with a cup of coffee, and my favorite type of coffee is very sweet coffee with lots of cream from Dunkin' Donuts. And my last but probably most important favorite thing is my husband. So a little information about our class. As I said, our class is departmentalized. Sometimes it's also referred to as specializing, which means that every second grade class this year has 2 teachers, one that will teach ELA, which is reading, writing, and social studies, and one that will teach STEM, which is math and science. Something different this year is that each course in MyLearning is broken up into separate subjects. In the spring, you guys had one MyLearning course and all of your subjects for the day were in that one course. In the fall, however, we are going to have one course in MyLearning for every subject area. And I'll show you that in just a minute when we look at the MyLearning platform. Another big change is that the school day is not self-paced like it was in the spring. Our school day will begin at 9:40 every day, Monday through Friday, unless of course we have the school day off. And we're gonna actually keep to the same bell schedule that the second graders in the traditional classroom at the school are going to have. And I want to tell you to make sure that you get logged on to MyLearning and the Zoom link a few minutes before 9:40 every school day, because it's going to take a few minutes to get logged on, and you want to make sure that your child is on time for our morning meeting, which is how we will start every day at 9:40. Also, attendance, just like in the classroom, I'll be taking attendance every day, so that's also a little bit different from in the springtime. Attendance will be taken a few minutes into our day during the morning meeting. So if students are present at the morning meeting at 9:40, they'll be marked present. If they arrive to the morning meeting more than a few minutes late, they'll be marked tardy. If they're in our morning meeting and in our Zoom lessons the first part of the day, but then they don't come back for the second part of the day, they'll be marked as left early. And all of that is exactly the same as how it would be in the traditional school building. So here is the MyPasco Connect dashboard. If you checked out a device from the school, you most likely got a laptop, or you could be using a laptop or desktop or even a tablet that you already owned at home. If your child starts next week and you realize that the device that they're using from their home is just not going to cut it, give the school a call and tell them that you need to check out a replacement device to borrow for the school year. When students log on to my Pasco Connect, if they don't remember their login, please email me right away, and I'll have my email at the end of this video, and I can look up their My Pasco Connect login and password in the system and email it back to you. You're gonna need to have that for first thing in the morning on Monday. So it might even be a good idea between now and then to have your child practice logging on to My Pasco Connect and make sure they remember everything. So when you log on, students' dashboards is gonna look a little bit different. Keep in mind that I'm a teacher, so you're looking at my teacher screen with all of my apps. You're gonna wanna click here on Office 365. That will open in a new tab. All that's doing is logging in your child's Office 365 account, so things like videos and such will work properly in MyLearning. Once that's open and loaded, you can go ahead and click on that tab and close out of it. We won't really be needing that after that. You're going to want to look for MyLearning, which is right here on mine, but it's probably in a different place on your child's dashboard, and click on that. And then once MyLearning opens, you're going to want to scroll down. And again, keep in mind, I have a lot more courses here because I'm a teacher. Students will just see these types of courses. So if you notice, we have language arts, math has a course, physical education, which is PE, has a course. Also at the bottom here, I've got science, social studies. Your child will probably also have an art and music course. So I'm gonna just click on the language arts course. And even though there's a separate one that says reading, we're actually only using language arts for both reading and writing. So I'm going to put my course into student view. Now there will be a different homepage here when your child logs in on Monday. The system has not fully updated itself yet, but I will take them through the homepage and some easier ways to click on things, as well as how to get help if Canvas is, MyLearning is not working during the school day. There will be some announcements at the top of the homepage. The few most recent announcements will show up here, or you can click on the announcements tab, and that's going to be really important because if we have any changes to our schedule or any help videos that I post or anything like that, special Zoom links, changes, etc., those will come through an announcement. So make sure that you look at those announcements every day for any important updates. I'm going to go down to the discussion board next. The discussion board is where students can post questions, but there also might be assignments within our modules during the week where they are asked to go to the discussion board to post some information, or maybe to reply to a question that I've posted there. So if you see that come up, there will either be a direct link right in the module for students to click on to get to the discussion board, or they can come to this tab that says discussions and do it there. The next is grades. This is where you can see students' grades on assignments, like I said before. It'll look something like this. And again, the grades for each subject area are only within that subject area's course. So right now we're looking at language arts, which would be reading and writing. To look at math grades, you'll have to go to the math course. To look at art grades, you'll have to go to the art course, and so on. And then modules, which is where we'll spend most of our time. You're going to have a couple of things up here at the top, some introductions, some how-tos. Keep in mind that the MyLearning platform used to be called Canvas, and I think Canvas is actually the software that the platform uses. So you're going to see it referred to as Canvas occasionally. That's still MyLearning. And then down here, this is where our actual reading and writing content starts. So these will be the lessons and assignments and quizzes and so on that we'll be using throughout our school day. So just a few more things I want to show you on our PowerPoint. This is a quick look at the expectations for when students are in Zoom lessons with myself or with Mr. Foreman or with any other support teachers that might be helping out with the school day. I'm just going to go through these quickly. I will definitely be spending time going through these with students more the first week of school. Be on time. Like I said, make sure your child begins logging into MyLearning and clicking on our Zoom link a few minutes before 9:40 on the first day of school. That Zoom link is going to be posted as an announcement in the language arts course. So that's where students are going to want to go on the first day of school. Students should find a quiet place where they can work and where they have a surface that they will be able to write on throughout the day. Be prepared. Devices should be charged. If they're using headphones, they should already have those there with them. Presentation, wear appropriate clothes. Even though we're all at home, we're all going to be on camera in our Zooms and seeing everybody. So students should be dressed appropriately and make sure they're sitting somewhere where the camera can actually see them. Students need to mute themselves, and I'll practice this with them on the first day of school. But when we all first start the day, I want all students to be muted so we're not getting a lot of feedback. And then as we have class discussions and questions and things like that, students will be unmuting themselves here and there. And we'll be practicing that a lot together as a class. Participation, I still want students to answer questions and be part of discussions just like we would in the classroom. Chat responsibly. I'll practice with students how to raise their hands to speak or ask questions. If we're typing things in the chat box, make sure they know that everyone, including the teacher, can see what they're writing in the chat box. Staying focused, no distractions during the school day. Just like in the classroom, we wouldn't want students to have toys at their desks or be eating all the time. So no toys, no eating, although drinks are okay, as long as they're drinking responsibly around their laptop or tablet. And no little siblings joining the Zoom lessons, please. And then the last one is being respectful, which would be a rule anywhere we were teaching. Listen when others are speaking and be kind to each other when you're in the Zoom lessons. This is a supply list. Again, this might be a good screen to pause and take a look at. It is almost identical to the supply list for the regular in the classroom second grade students. There were a few supplies that we're not going to need if your student is in online learning, things like class Kleenex and hand sanitizer and Clorox wipes, although I'm sure you're probably going to want all those things for your own home. They're not required for school. I also added a device. Obviously, you need some sort of device to connect to the internet to do online learning. It would be very helpful to have a handheld whiteboard, something like this. You can usually find these at dollar stores, Walmart, Target, and so on. If you can't find something like that, getting a plastic sheet protector and putting a blank sheet of paper inside will work as well. Just something that students can write on with an erasable dry erase marker so that we can do lessons throughout the day where we do quick writing activities in reading, math, science, writing, and so on, and students don't have to use paper every single time. That would be really helpful for them. Here's the contact info for both myself and for Mr. Foreman. You'll see at the top, the first thing I said is the MyLearning inbox. When a student is in a course in MyLearning, on the left-hand side of the screen, there's something that says inbox. That's basically like email within the MyLearning platform. So if you have a question about a specific area, you can go to inbox, and then parents or students can email either myself or Mr. Foreman to ask your question. I've also put both of our school emails on there and our Google Voice phone numbers, which means you can call using the Google Voice number. It will work just like a regular phone call, or you can send a text to it as well. Keep in mind that both Mr. Foreman and myself will not recognize these numbers when you call, so there's a chance that we might not answer. We don't want to get spam phone calls. So if you want to send a text first to tell me that you're giving me a call, or if I don't answer and you leave a voicemail, I'll call you right back as soon as I get it. Keep in mind that when I'm teaching during the school day, I'm not going to be able to answer phone calls and emails just like I wouldn't in the classroom. So between 8:40 and 9:30, between 10:35 and 11:15, and between 4:08 and 4:30. Those are the teacher planning times when I will not be live teaching, and I'll be available to answer emails, help you guys out, answer phone calls and text messages, and so on. So the last thing I want to say is let's have a great year. I'm very excited to meet you all on Monday in our class Zoom, and I will see you then. Have a great rest of your summer. Bye.